Bitcoin has had an absolutely tumultuous past 24 hours, dropping over 10% from its previous peak, and now sparking the question, is it possible that the Bitcoin bull run is still intact? Is it still possible that the Bitcoin bull run is on its upward trajectory? And is it still possible that the Bitcoin bull run of 2019 is here to stay? What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Crypto Kirby here, your cryptocurrency expert, back with another edition of the daily live stream. What is going on, my friends? Today I'd like to discuss Bitcoin and the possibility of there still being hope for the bull run right here, right now. And as a full-time trader, I'd like to discuss with you my strategy, my game plan, and how I plan to crush this market right now in the immediate term. So without any further ado, you guys already know the deal. If you like these daily crypto videos and nightly live streams, smack that thumbs up button, click the subscribe, tick the little bell, and let's get this crypto. Moon the likes, ladies and gentlemen. Moon them up. Alright, so we'll begin with our Bitcoin technical analysis. And of course, before we begin, this is not investment advice, this is not trading advice. These are only my own opinions, ideas, and observations on the market. Always do your own research and your own due diligence before investing or trading, as this market is extremely high risk, and I am not your financial advisor. I will never tell you what to do with your trades or investments. Being said, let's begin here on the 4-hour time frame. It is no surprise we did break flush out of our rising wedge pattern. Now, of course, there was a little bit of a catalyst late yesterday evening, ladies and gentlemen, and that had to do with the Bitfinex and Tether alleged problems. I do not have an opinion on that situation, ladies and gentlemen. I do not believe it's a place for me to be giving an opinion, as I do not have enough information from the inside to justify an opinion. But what we did get was a fear, uncertainty, and doubt catalyst that did help propel us downwards out of that pattern. Now, something else before we get into the rest of this, there is another piece of fear, uncertainty, and doubt here, ladies and gentlemen, and that is that today Bitfinex has withdrawn 17,253.58 Bitcoin from its cold wallet. And this we can see here, courtesy of BitInfo charts, that this happened just earlier today. This is sparking more panic in the market. The truth of the matter, though, is, ladies and gentlemen, is that we also saw this happen back here in February. We also, where they withdrew nearly 16,000 Bitcoins. And on that same day, they had another transaction for another additional 3.1K Bitcoins. Nothing in the market drastically happened there, but when you pair this together with the FUD articles of yesterday, and now all of a sudden we see 17.2K Bitcoins being withdrawn from their cold wallet, this is stirring up the pot, getting the Moon Boys all hot and flustered. Oh, Kirby, oh! And I just thought that I would share this with you all if you want to speculate about what's going on here on your own time. Now, let's get back to reality, back to the real world, back to getting this crypto. Because for me, ladies and gentlemen, what's most important is the price action here in this chart, right? You look at the chart, I can tell you that the news was bad. I don't need to see the news to understand why this was here. If you show me this chart, I could tell you that something probably happened as this was a massive drop in a very short amount of time. But I digress. Let's get into it. So we've retraced right from our key resistance zone, with or without the FUD. This was a key area that we were coming up on, right? For me, ladies and gentlemen, if we use our price range tool, we'll go from our previous high wick all the way to my first take profit zone for longs. We were only 2% away from the absolute first target zone for me for longs. Now, that means, in my opinion, that I believed that this was going to be an area that we could see a nice rejection, right? And what do you know, ladies and gentlemen? Hickory dickory dock, there it was, and the fear, uncertainty, and doubt put in the top. But we were not far away from what could have been the top naturally and organically, in my opinion. So to say that this was just based off of the fear coming out with that speculation between Bitfinex and Tether, I think that's a little far-fetched, in my opinion. And I believe that this was just a classic bearish pattern on an unsustainable uptrend that was helped along by some fear, invoked into the market with a little bit of FUD, a little Fudonacci for the sheep, right? And what I also like about this right now, ladies and gentlemen, is that the fear and greed index has cooled off. The moon boys are getting a little scared now, ladies and gentlemen, trembling like a leaf in the wind. Oh, Kirby, oh. And this is when opportunity arises, ladies and gentlemen. This is when the realists prevail and the moon boys get crushed. Because right here, right now, I believe that we're seeing a lot of fear and panic, but let's draw some support lines here. Let's draw a support box, all right? We've clearly dropped under our support number 1, which I've outlined here in the red, and I have it red because it should now, in theory, become a new resistance. If we are to test up, I would expect that's going to be a hard range to sustain. But let's now draw another box. I believe that right here, where we are, we had our massive wick down. And what we can clearly see is that this whole area here, let's make it pink so we can justify, or rather, clarify the difference here. So what we could see, ladies and gentlemen, is that our first wick touched right down into this area, and we have had multiple consolidations and wicks enter this zone in the past before using it as a launch point to go higher. Right? We had our first one right here, boom, second one here, boom, third one here, boom, right? And now we had it again right here, ladies and gentlemen. Again have we had a wick fall into the same vicinity and push us higher. Now, what I'm looking for here is that if this is to continue to fall down in a bear flag pattern, this area must hold support. If we drop below here, right now, if we drop below this low of about 48.50, say 48.50 gets purged, we're going to drop, in my opinion, right into my target zones. You guys know, if you are subscribed here, I've had these zones outlined for weeks, ladies and gentlemen, that this is where I believe Bitcoin is going to retrace to. And this is my green target area of about 46.50 to 45.50. And if we drop even lower than that, I believe we could get anywhere from 4,400 all the way to 4,200. But we need to discuss the bull run aspect, right? Is there still hope for the bull run? Now, looking at this, it may look scary, right? Especially to newer traders. This just may look like, oh my, Tether is doing this, the fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Oh, we've reached resistance levels and we're dumping. Let's pull back, right? Let's look at this with an unemotional bias, right? Let's stop thinking about all of that's happened here, and let's look at the structure of the trend, right? So we obviously had our massive candle that ripped us up through all of the prior resistance levels, right? All of our prior tops that should have been new resistance were smashed through, right? Beautiful. Although, this was not the most organic candle, in my opinion. A lot of manipulation buying going on there, coordinated buying. It's fine. It's helping change the structure of the chart, right? So we can't discredit the fact, guys, that this whole red area here, and why I've had it drawn in red for so long, is that this should have been an area that we found resistance in, right? And what do you know, ladies and gentlemen? Ding, 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 chicken wings for dinner, tofu if you're vegan. Where did we get rejected? Right in the box. I mean, this is classic textbook stuff here. And we've got rejected. And where are we going to now? We're going right back down into our consolidation range. And if we are to hold in this level between 49.50 and 4,900, this, even on a micro level, still looks bullish to me, ladies and gentlemen. As if this level is to hold, it would not surprise me to consolidate and look to retest this high once again. Maybe we retest the high, double top out, and then plunge. That is also very possible. And borderline probable, in my opinion. But if this holds, still bullish on a very micro term outlook for me. If it gets purged, right? Because now, if it gets purged, there may even be more panic. And from a micro perspective, I agree with that, because if that level is purged, it could be quite another drop to the downside, somewhere in the vicinity of 10%, before maybe we find another point here, right? And let's actually take our Fibonacci here to look at what we could expect. We'll go from our swing low here all the way up to the tentative high, right? We've already now pulled back to the 0.23, and we are looking now to make a test down potentially in the vicinity of the 0.382 Fibonacci, and potentially even down further than that. But the important thing here, ladies and gentlemen, is that all of our fibs, especially watching that 0.618, which is the golden retracement, right, is that Fibonacci for the macro swing here, right, the swing low to swing high of this entire trend, which is a ton of data here, right, this golden retracement is now above our old previous highs, which in my opinion, even if we retraced all the way down to that level from where we currently stand, which would be a vicious, tumultuous, a roughly 16% plus drop to the downside, we would still be in what could form a macro bullish pattern, right? That we have dropped down, consolidated upon our old highs, and are now using them as new support when before they were acting as old resistance, right? And we would be respecting our fibs. We would be respecting the support lines here. We would, if we look at our RSI, it may in fact be healthy for this trend now that we've broken our upward sloping support line here on the RSI, that we go into oversold territory like we did here, before we look for another run up to the upside again, right? That's very natural market movement. Very natural that you go oversold to overbought to oversold to overbought. That's very natural, right? That's what we see over and over again on the daily time frame. That would be something that would not only be expected, but something that seems very probable to me with the sheer amount of speed and momentum that Bitcoin has had to boost us up to this level as it did right now. Also, ladies and gentlemen, the NVT has crossed this line here. You guys know, for me, the NVT has been something I've been monitoring extensively. And now that we've broken this line here, I'm awaiting for a back test. If we back test fail and begin to chop sideways, it's going to get very interesting for me, as this is a characteristic pattern that this has done historically before dropping off of a cliff. I'm monitoring it now. I'm still not really looking at this with panic or anything like that. I wouldn't be panicking anyway. I'm just saying, from a bullish perspective, I'm not seeing this as something of immediate concern, as I'd need to see really a back test first, some consolidation, and then obviously a confirmation of a dive. Really, if we start to go below this range here, ladies and gentlemen, if we actually use this type of box here, if we break below, consolidate, can't get back above that line, and wind up breaking something in this vicinity, it would not surprise me to just see us fall off a cliff like we have so many times in the past, maybe before sticking in a green signal down here that has also historically launched us back up into the crypto heavens, right? Let's look at some shorts. Let's look at some other market sentiment here, and really continue to crunch the analysis here and get this crypto. But if you are just tuning in now, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to moon up the likes, moon them up, smash those thumbs, click the subscribe button, tick the little bell. Let's get this crypto. Satoshi needs a new pair of shoes. You guys know, shout out to my VIPs. I've been trading this very aggressively, ladies and gentlemen. My VIPs know I've been posting trade alerts on my trades that I've been making like a madman. I'm crushing this market right now. I'm looking to strike upon aggressive trading opportunities as they arise. We are in the zone right now where I believe heinous moves are being made. And I've been saying this, and what do you know, ladies and gentlemen? We're getting the heinous moves. I've seen many trolls, many moon boys, clowns, degenerates, etc. that have all been on my case as we climb up into this zone. And I've said that maybe we could climb up to this region before getting rejected. We climbed roughly to the region, got a little help from a fear, uncertainty, and doubt catalyst, and now we're plunging, right? And many will take that trip to Wrecked City, ladies and gentlemen. Average Joe and James at the water cooler, they never learn, right, ladies and gentlemen? The old saying goes, what goes up must come down, right? And for the moon boys, in their mind, it's what goes up must go up even more. Sheesh. You know, I honestly, I wish that the Moon Boys would just take a moment to learn, right? Instead of just crossing their fingers, closing their eyes, and going off blind hope that Bitcoin is going to moon. If they just took the time to learn, they too could crush this market, ladies and gentlemen. Because the truth of the matter is that when you're a trader, right, and you profit off the volatility, it doesn't matter if Bitcoin moons or not. If it moons, it's a plus, right? It's like, wow, great, we're mooning, and this makes my job easier as I can just leave my long positions long instead of having to adjust and monitor them all the time. But when you're a trader, it doesn't matter if we moon or not, right? So the thing is that in this game, the transfer of capital keeps happening from the people that just want to close their eyes and cross their fingers, when the people that aren't doing that and they're aggressively monitoring their positions, adjusting their positions, taking profits, adjusting stop losses, etc., those are the ones that keep extracting the capital out of the market from the ones that are doing no work and just hoping and praying for something good to happen. It's like a bad dream, ladies and gentlemen. It's like a nightmare for these people. They just want to do nothing, right? They want to do nothing and want all the rewards. But unfortunately, most of the time, the rewards are going to the people that are putting in the work to reap the rewards, right? Hard work pays off. That's literally the saying, right? And unfortunately, many don't want to put in the work to succeed. And for me, I put in the work each and every day to try and crush this market as hard as I can. And I do keep you all updated in VIP with my trades, entries, exits, profit taking strategies, etc. that I have. And I will continue to keep you all up to date in VIP with every trade, position, alert, etc. Every trade that I take, I post for you in real time. So I will see you in VIP right now, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to transform yourself from average Joe into savage Joe. Let's get this crypto. I will see you in VIP right now. Hard work pays off. Now, I was touching upon the fear and greed index. I'm happy that we are back into a fearful territory at a 41. As you guys know, if you are subscribed here, I have been covering this, and we've been so greedy for so long, ladies and gentlemen. Greedy, greedy, greedy. When are we going to see this plunge back down into the teens, right? We're at a 41 right now. I want to see us go back into the teens, right? Or at least a 20, right? This is where we see massive drops inside the market. That is what I'm looking for. We haven't had it in quite some time. Maybe we're going to get it now. But what's also concerning for me here, from a bearish standpoint, let's go into the shorts. Excuse me, I'm lagging here. All right. What's concerning to me, although it looks like we may be due for a further pullback, is that now the Bitcoin shorts have been mooning, right? And I've been covering this, guys, right? We've all known, if you are subscribed here, that this red box has been an area that the shorts have loved to find a sustainable footing here and then moon, thus bringing the price down. And what do you know, ladies and gentlemen? Right there again, did we see that the shorts respected this level, mooned, and the price of Bitcoin dropped over 10% from its peak. This is like clockwork, ladies and gentlemen. This is the type of work and due diligence I'm telling you. You put in the work, you identify historic patterns. Of course, past performance is not indicative of future results, but it does give you a nice perspective of what the market is doing, how traders are operating, how the algorithms are operating, and this has been a zone of interest for me for so long. We've seen the shorts moon and the price drop, but now the problem that comes in here is that we are ripe now for a short squeeze, right? And a short squeeze, my friends, is something that can look like this, where very, very quickly, or something like this, very, very quickly, the shorts wind up dropping massively because they all get liquidated, right? A large buy order comes in, just liquidates everybody, and we get a squeeze. And this is what happens when the shorts are too high. Does this mean that this has to happen? No, but again, historically, if we use a rectangle on the contrary here, we can see that anytime we get up really into this vicinity here, it's fair game for a short squeeze to occur. So we do have quite a bit of way to go, ladies and gentlemen. If we use our price range tool again, we could see that the beginning of this box is roughly another 26% move to the upside in the amount of short contracts here. So there is still a ways to go, but it is something I'm monitoring now. I do believe we could see further moves to the downside before we would in fact have to get one of these squeezes, as we are still historically 26% away from the strike zone, right? The attack zone up there at the top where we've seen this happen historically. But back to Bitcoin right now, I hope you guys see that although we may be short-term bearish here, there's still so much that would need to happen to go macro bearish again, in my opinion, because really if we hold here, I still think we're micro bullish, right? As the micro trend hasn't even been defeated. If we drop through that pink box and we consolidate here between 4,600 and 4,500, I still think we're macro bullish. If we drop to this green box, consolidate upon the old highs between 4,400 and 4,200, I still think we can be macro bullish as well. It's really only until we would get defeated here, ladies and gentlemen, drop below all three of these boxes, somewhere down here and go back into our old accumulation zone here, that's when I would start to get very, very bearish again, as this would be a complete failure, a reaction rally amidst a bear market that has seemingly failed, lost all support, and it has brought us back down below our old resistance zone. That would not be good, in my opinion, from a bullish perspective. But until I see otherwise, I still believe that there is hope here for the bull market. There's going to be a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt here, ladies and gentlemen, right? If people are unaware about this 17,000 Bitcoin move from the cold wallet, you can show them this video, share this with other traders in your chats and your socials. Also, just pointing out that this is the first time the fear index has been down. This is a good thing for a bullish perspective, in my opinion. It's needed a little break, right? It's needed to get some fresh air here. It's been greedy for too long. And of course, as I've shown, ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot of healthy fib retracements that are all in our zones right now that would still be macro bullish, in my opinion. So there's a ton of great sentiment here for me, even if we are to drop. And I am going to be playing this aggressively, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, there is going to be potentially life-changing trading opportunity here. And Don Carbanaccio is striking upon it right now. I do not like to squander potentially life-changing opportunity, ladies and gentlemen. I put in the work. I grind. I watch these charts 24/7. I look for high reward, low risk trade setups. Trade setups that can help me achieve the largest profitability that I can seek as a trader. I'm looking for those right now. I have been trading aggressively, especially on this move right now. Lots going on. I'm ready to crush this market. Are you? It's time to transform yourself from Average Joe into Savage Joe. Let's get this crypto. I will see you all in VIP right now. Don't be taking that trip to Wrecked City with Average Joe and James at the water cooler. You're better than that, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to crush this market. I will be posting all my trades, my setups, my strategies, my alerts, all exclusively for you in VIP right now. I will see you in VIP right now. It's time to crush it, and it's time to get this crypto. I will see you in VIP right now. Shout out to my VIPs. I will see you in VIP right now. And until next time, my friends, be safe, be happy, be healthy. It's your boy, Crypto Kirby. Peace and love, my friends. Curbs.